Good morning. We are here at the Surfside Kollel Boker, and we are doing the Chafetz Chaim, a page a day, a lesson a day, all types of discussion on Lashon Hara from the Sefer Chafetz Chaim of Hara Yisrael Meir HaKohen. Let's look at the next learning, the 17 prohibitions of Lashon Hara. So the Chafetz Chaim now is going to list for us all the different sins that a person does if he speaks Lashon Hara one time. If he speaks one time, there's 17 of these problems that he's got to deal with. Number one, do not go as a talebearer amongst your nation. Vayikra 19-16. If a person goes from one friend to another, bearing tales such as, this is what he said about you, or this is what he did to you, this is called Rechilut. Or if he speaks derogatorily of someone, that's called Lashon Hara. Regardless of whether the subject of his remark is present, he transgresses the Torah prohibition, do not go as a talebearer amongst your nation. Now, he didn't mention this here, but we're referring in the Rechilut that it's true. The person saying, this is what he did to you, this is what he said about you, it's true. Everything there was an actual fact. And in regards to if he speaks derogatorily of someone, in that statement that he's making is also a true statement. He's just saying something that's just not nice about another person, but it is fully true, because we're going to get to the statements that are untrue. Number two, do not bear false testimony. In Shemot 23-1, if a person speaks or accepts Lashon Hara or Rechilut, he transgresses the Torah prohibition, do not bear false testimony. Okay? This prohibition is transgressed whether the information is true or false, and whether or not the subject of the remark is present. So, do not bear false testimony is really saying that if a person, even if he hears Lashon Hara or Rechilut, he doesn't have to believe it. You just say, okay, and just don't accept it. Say, I'm not accepting it. I wasn't there, I didn't hear it, I have to talk with the person or whatever. You just pass it, don't accept it. That's the key here on the second one. And then he writes on the bottom, anyone with common sense will endeavor to constantly wage war against his Yetzer Hara in order to not fall into the snare of the terrible sin of Lashon Hara. Fortunate will be his portion in this world, and the next Shemirat Lashon Zechira, chapter 4. So for today, he starts to list two of the 17 prohibitions of speaking Lashon Hara. Rechilut is saying something true about someone. This is what he said about you, or this is what he did to you, meaning just passing over information. Lashon Hara is speaking derogatorily about someone. That's a true statement. And he says that the other problem being that you shouldn't accept it. Even if you do hear it or know about it, you don't have to accept it. Say, okay, I heard it, I don't believe it. Why should I believe it? I don't believe things people just say unless I reach the person and take it to further investigation. Baruch Adonai le'olam, amen v'amen.